This story has more twists and turns than an old mountain road in the backwoods of Appalachia. Folks from Appalachia go missing all the time. The strange disappearance of Jerry Balisok stunned his family. A Life magazine cover photo would lead them to believe he'd passed during the sad Jim Jones cult mass murder in Jonestown, Guyana. The State Department tried to convince them otherwise. Appalachia, the mountains are like no other. From its rigid terrain, beautiful wildlife, to the people that live their lives here, to the strange, unexplained stories that folks share. Join me while I share this amazing place, one story at a time. Jerry grew up in Huntsville, Alabama, and by all accounts, he was a normal child. He opened and ran a motorcycle business, but Jerry got himself caught up in a mess. It was discovered that he allegedly forged 13 people's names, trying to fraud the folks at the motorcycle shop. He faced 13 counts and would soon stand trial. Strangely, the man disappeared without a trace. His mother worried he did this to avoid prosecution. Huntsville PD and the FBI looked for Jerry, but turned up absolutely nothing. But in November, Jerry's mother made a strange discovery. She saw the tragic cover of the Life magazine following the mass murder of the Jim Jones cult followers. Studying the photo of all the bodies, she saw one and like to have fainted. Right among the bodies lied her son Jerry. She took the Life magazine cover to the Huntsville PD and told them of his death. They denied the fact and told her, in fact, it was not him that was among the unidentified victims. Jerry's mother would refuse to believe it wasn't him. She knew how difficult it would be identifying the unclaimed victims who were then later buried in Oakland, California. She began the war against the state in the media. She wanted her boy returned so she could give him a proper burial in the Maple Hill Cemetery. 2 years later, she purchased 2 plots and had a stone made for him. The stone read, Jerry Balisok, born September 8th, 1955, murdered in Guyana, November 18th, 1978, buried in Oakland, California, May 1979. And it also says, darn the State Department. She truly believed it was him in that photo. Sadly, in 1983, she passed and was placed next to his empty plot. Strangely, 7 years later, a man being tried for murder in Seattle, Washington, named Ricky Wetta, was found to actually be Jerry Balisok. Now this was strange indeed. Did Jerry run off to avoid prosecution, then make his way to Guyana and join Jim Jones and his cult, to only die during the mass murder? Then the photo led his mother to discover his death. Or did he run off to Seattle, Washington under the alias Rick Wetta to only attempt to kill a person. The true story is only known but by one man. Folks, I want to thank you for sitting and listening to the strange disappearance of Jerry Balisok. I appreciate you listening. I love you to pieces. And I'll see you next time.